Hey, Hickok 45. We're going to take a look at the Ruger LC9s. Going to take some shots with it, if I can find it here. And I can't wait to do that. Oh, I just remembered. It's been protecting me this week. Yes, sirree, Bob. Nice, nice. Let's hit something else. Woo! Sweet. They do run out of ammo though eventually, don't they? Oh, bounce, bounce, bounce. Yes, we're going to take a few more shots with the LC9s, and this is it. It's the new offering fairly new offering at this point from Ruger. Big difference between the LC9s is that it has a striker fired trigger mechanism, okay? That's the big difference, and you notice there it still has the magazine disconnect, which I don't really like, but it does have that. And we appreciate Kentucky Gun Company sending this to us, even after all my jokes about Kentucky. Not bad, huh? So we appreciate that, as well as the ammo from Federal. Lots of nice, juicy cartridges. Don't you just love them in a big bowl like that? I do. So anyway, that's what this is. And we have the old one. They're still making it, of course, the LC9 that is hammer fired. And we appreciate Elks Outdoors lending us this. It's a used gun belonging to the shop there in Pleasant View, Tennessee. Elks Outdoors. It's like the one I used to have, the hammer fired, the LC9. And we'll talk a little bit about the differences. Why don't we just go ahead? There's not very many differences. You don't have the key lock like you do. You have a little key. You can lock up the mechanism on the LC9. Okay. Don't have that with the LC9s. And what else besides the trigger? Oh, I know, the loaded chamber indicator. You see the big difference on the right. We have the new one. You don't have this tab that comes up. You just have a hole there. So you can, well, you basically have the other one. So you can see if there's a round in the chamber. All right. And then this one is striker fired. Okay, so that's basically it. You still got the same contour and weight and everything. Same gun, other than that, really. Same feel. And you notice I have some Talon grip material I put on this. As I probably said in an earlier video with this one, the grip is really thin. That's one of the attractions of the single stack 9s, and everybody's begging for them, of course. They want Glock to come out with one. They want everybody to make one. Because it's just a really popular size. I mean, it just really is. It just fits most people's hands, and it's a 9mm, just big enough, and it's just a good sized little gun. But Ruger went the extra mile and made the grip really thin on the front, too thin for me. So I am busy, of course, filling in a little bit with some Talon grip material, and I've contacted them. They're going to send me a regular grip for it, which I might just put over all that mess. I don't know. So anyway, yeah, I have been carrying this thing since I got it the other day, and I had really forgotten what a carryable piece these were. Really thought about them as being a little bit bigger, because the trigger mechanism was not my favorite. The more I shot it, the less I liked the trigger on it. I know many of you feel the same. Some of you don't. I've seen comments that you really feel like it needs that long pull, to be safe. Maybe so. That's your choice. We could argue that one a lot. There are lots of debates, right, on that. About the weight of a trigger and all that. And of course, with a 1911, you might have a light trigger, but you got the safety. Well, you got a thumb safety on this too, with a lighter trigger. How do you manipulate that, and when does it become an issue if your trigger is light? Is the safety is engaged? Does it matter? And just like on a 1911, I don't know. Well, that's a subject for another day probably. But this one has a much better trigger for, get this, hitting the target. All right. Now it could be today if I shoot both of them. I didn't really plan to shoot the hammer fired one, but I might. It could be I shoot it better. I think bottom line is, though, if I shoot both of these very much, I'll shoot this one a lot better. All right, so let me sell you this gun here now. When I got it in and felt the trigger and where it breaks, I was excited, okay, because I actually liked the LC9. I don't know how much I have bragged on it, you know, in the past years, but I kind of liked it. The contour of it, it's streamlined, not too big, you know, everything about it except that long trigger pull that breaks way back here for me. This is the LC9. I need to put the magazine in. Stupid magazine disconnect. It breaks way back there, and I don't mind the length of the pull so much as with my big hands as where it breaks. If it started way up here somewhere and broke right there, I'd love it. But it breaks way back there, okay? That's why I have trouble. When I'm shooting it, I tend to want to, it's awfully hard to keep from pulling down low left by the time that trigger breaks. That's the trouble I have with it. I don't have that much problem with a hammer. You know, hammer fired's fine. I love hammer fired revolvers. So it's just where the trigger breaks on that thing. I believe that's the problem with a lot of people. Now notice this one. Notice where it breaks. We got an empty mag in it. You have to have a magazine in it. Okay, now pull back. Oh, look at it. Broke right there. How's that for different? That's dramatic. I mean, that's a dramatic difference for those of you who know firearms. Feels good. Now, the only thing, the reset's not all that short. See a reset up there. Pull the trigger again. Reset. Reset's a little long. In this type of gun, this size of gun, not that big a deal necessarily though, okay? Now, you notice Ruger supplies one of these New Jersey magazines though. If you just need a magazine in it to work it and mess with it, you know, it's handy. You can, you know, do all that and test the trigger, do whatever you want, all right? So that's the New Jersey compliant 9mm magazine. So actually, you know what that is. So I think I have some more ammo. What am I doing talking? I could be shooting. Yes, I have a couple more here. In fact, I've got the 9-round magazine that comes with it, and I'll even stick that in my pocket, so I'll have it. What else? Yeah, there we go. Ears on. All right, let's take a couple shots with it. Now, I'm going to brag on the trigger, and hopefully I can show you that it is a shootable firearm. Now, sure as the world, I won't be able to. You notice on the red plate over there, John and I climbed up in that big poplar tree, and we put a spotlight up there, and it's shining right down on the spot on the red plate now so that we can get a better side picture. So let me go ahead and see if I can hit it before that light burns out on us. I don't think I could hit it with that other one in a month of Sundays. I might not hit it with this one, but I'll come close, I think. Okay, calm down now. There we go. There's two. I knew that light would burn out. I'll put the big mag in now. There's another one. Okay, what did I tell you? Maybe you'll believe me now. I come up with all these stories I tell you before the videos. Even John didn't see this, but I shot it this afternoon some, and I put a magazine in it, 7 rounds. I hit that red plate, well, not the first 6, but I hit 6 out of the 7 shots in that magazine. And I mean, I don't know if I've done that ever, really. So now I maybe can't do it now, although I'm on a roll. Maybe I should keep shooting at it. But I say that, and I pat myself on the back, aren't I great, to just point out to you what a good trigger this thing has in it. And you know me, I'm picky about triggers, especially, well, in any gun. And for this thing to have a trigger like that, it just makes my day. I mean, to tell you. Cowboy, it's your turn. Let's put one on the gong. I guess I've got another round in there. Must have another one. Let's have another one. Not doing a very good job of counting my rounds, am I? That holds 9. And you notice how it fits there? I think actually, let's see now, I purchased that one, okay? And that's right, this gun comes with one magazine. And I started scouring around Nashville, and I bought 3 more small ones, and I bought this one. So I spent about $150 in magazines here. But that also attests to how much I like this firearm, this new trigger and this new firearm. I wanted some magazines for it, partly for the video. It makes better video, and it's definitely going to be a keeper. Okay, so that holds 9. And oh, what I was going to tell you, I think I read that, now this doesn't fit perfectly. It's hard to tell with my hatchet job on the Talon grip material there. Next time you see this gun, it will have the regular Talon grips, because they got some in the mail to me. But it doesn't fit as well as some they're making now. There's some little bit of difference, I think, there. That was one of the differences. It doesn't match up as beautifully, I think, as it does on the the LC9. I keep saying older, but I guess they're going to keep making. I don't know. That's not a great fit either. I don't know. I might even take the bottom. I don't like that big old thing. You know, I am about extensions and things. If I can take that massive thing off, I don't need that grip. I might do that. But that's the one I've been carrying as a spare. And I just, you know, that in my pocket with 9 rounds. So you got 9 rounds plus 7 plus 1, 9 plus 8. Okay, that's almost 17. 9 plus 8. So that's not bad. 9mm. Hey, when I got this thing, I pulled that trigger. Get the New Jersey mag back in it. Pulled that trigger, and I thought, whoa! And I shot it. So, man, I just don't remember my LC9 being this nice. I knew it didn't have the trigger. And whoa, maybe this can be one of my new pocket guns. I tend to change around a little, don't I? I pulled out the Glock 42, which I had in my pocket. I said, oh, this is way bigger than the 42, isn't it? You know, and I got to thinking about it. I held it up there and I realized, well, yeah, it's a little bit bigger, but you know, it's not gigantically, it's not a lot bigger, is it? And you look at your length and everything here. I'll move it around, mess John up. Let me stand him up like that. Yeah, the 42 is shorter, a little bit on the grip. It's just not enough to make a big difference, though. And then too, you're talking about 380 with the Glock 42. You know, 380, and then also just 6 rounds in the magazine. So you know, this is 7 plus 1, 9mm. And we're going to talk about weight and some things there too. That's 380. That's apples and oranges to some extent. This is a 9. All right, so you saw that. Let me shoot some more. Where's the ammo? Where's my magazine? There's one right there. They're not loaded. Okay. All right, I'm going to lay this out here, and I'm going to do a little bit of loading. I weighed all these things, even the 26 and Glock 40. You might kind of look at the weight there a little bit while I'm loading these mags. You notice that the XDS is 21 3/4. It's almost 22 ounces, just like a Glock 26. They weigh the same, the XDS and the Glock 26. All right, they're bigger, heavier firearms. But when you get down into the Shield, the Beretta Nano, and the Car, and this Ruger, then you're in the 16, 17 ounce range, up to 20 with the Shield. The 20 is a little heavier. And I've got a Shield here. I'll do a little comparison. A friend of ours who has lent us several guns, you know, that's a Shield I had in, I think, the first Shield video we did. So that's a really nice striker-fired single stack 9mm also. I like that. If I had to pick a couple of these to go to a shoot 'em up with today, it would be that Shield or this one probably, or the XDS. The XDS is a really sweet shooter. It's a little heavier, and that's one reason. Like the Glock 26, you know, they weigh the same, and that's why those two firearms are really easy and to shoot well and feel good when you shoot them. They're just really sweet shooters, no doubt about it. So give you a little idea, you know, on the weight. Now, again, you're in the 17 ounce range with this, just a little bit more, about an ounce than the Car. The car, in the terms of 9mm, you know, is the lightest, and it's short, a little bit shorter and everything. So you really, you know, you're not talking about a heavy old gun, and you've got one with a great trigger now. So it, I guess my message here today is, if you've been like me, you just really kind of discounted the LC9 because of the trigger, you might want to revisit it. You really might, because it's a sweet shooter now, and no doubt about it. Now this one, I noticed, you know, I don't know if we'll end up needing to send it to Ruger at some point, or if it'll matter. I haven't noticed any function problems, but you notice it doesn't, the slide doesn't close up all the way. You can see that, even to the point where the safety will not engage until you push that forward a little bit. I'm assuming that's the kind of thing after about 200-300 rounds, you know, it's going to go fully into battery and it won't be an issue, because if you let the slide go forward, it does okay now, but it kind of hangs right there. Okay, I don't know if it's a quality control issue, what exactly that is. Haven't noticed it affecting function. All right, so let's just enjoy it a little bit, and then we'll do a little more comparison. All right, get these magazines where I can get to them. Shooting a firearm with a good trigger is fun, shall I say. You know, I've got my Alabama holster still, except this is actually for the car PM9, and I have written them. I think they're going to send me one, but you know, it fits pretty well in that, or else I wouldn't be using it. All right. So, oh, I know what it is. Let's shoot the paper. See if I can hit the paper. No excuses. I have a good trigger. There we go. It's about time I put some in the bullseye, isn't it? I just slop them all over the paper usually. All right. Woo! A little action there. Nice. Good shooting gun. I am so happy that this has been done. Sometimes things do work out. I'm going to put another one on the red plate. Slow down. Slow down, you can do it. There's that big mag. Okay. Well, let's go to a pig. I want to see something fall. What am I doing? I'm going over it. Okay, I won't waste all my ammo. Gotta slow down. Okay. All right, calm down. Getting too excited. Before time gets away and y'all have to leave, let me show you something here on size now. Okay, now you got kind of the weight idea. You're talking 16, 17 ounces on. Yeah, I couldn't find the Nano. I've got it's buried in the safe somewhere. Quite frankly, I'm not as crazy about the Nano. You know, it doesn't have the slide lock. It's okay, but it wouldn't be my choice over some of these. But the Nano, for those who haven't, you know, kind of the category here, you're talking about 16, 17 ounces for those three. All right, these and the Nano. Okay, lightweight, 9mm that shoot well and have pretty darn good triggers, really good triggers. And then you move into the Shield at 20 3/4 ounces. Still could be a pocket gun. I think it gets you closer to that category where maybe you need to think about that as a belt holster gun. But it's doable in the pocket. It's not dramatically different. Let's put a mag in here. I'll give you a look there. Because these are really common, and it gives you a good idea. Get the back there kind of nice up together, about the right. I guess that's squared up. All right, so they both hold 7+1, and you see the front. We've got a little bit longer on the the shield. A little bit longer, and remember it's what, 3 ounces heavier. And if you look at thickness on all these, it kind of gives you an idea, you know, what that's about. I'm going to measure just the front part of the gun, include the, I won't include the controls, but I include the frame and everything. Okay, there's the thickness on the shield. And we put it on the LC9. You see we got some gap there. So there's a good bit of difference there. That's where your weight reduction is. And plus that is really contoured, so it has the feel and look of being even smaller than it is, I guess, because it's not as squared off as the shield or the XDS, which is squared off even more. And of course it's heavier. Right now, I'm not really bad mouthing these other guns. I like all these guns a lot. Because some are heavier than others, or even just a tad bigger. You know, there's a picture. Let's just stand them all up together there, because there's something to be gained with the weight. You know, there really is. You gain a little bit with the weight. Makes them easier to shoot well. What's that one without a magazine? That's the XDS. Yeah, put the mag in it there to stand them up evenly. So all of those are 7+1. Trying to fall over on me. 7+1, 9mm. All good shooters, all great shooters actually. All right. And until today, I would have not included the LC9 in that category and bragging about it being a great shooter. All right. So that gives you a little bit of an idea of thickness. Your thickest is, of course, the Glock. The XDS is not quite as thick, but it's the same weight. All right, that's a Glock 26, just out here for comparison purposes. You get a little bit smaller in your shield. You know, you're down to 20 ounces, not quite as thick as those. A little thicker than the LC9. Okay, so not to confuse you, but kind of give you an idea of where they all fit size-wise. If you're looking for one of these, gives you an idea, especially on that weight. All right. All right, now what have I not told you about it before I play a little bit more? Wonderful trigger, wonderful trigger. It's just what you get with a striker fired firearm. You have to be the judge again. If it's too light for you, if you're a new shooter, if you're looking for a carry gun, you just got your permit and you're new to firearms, you know, how light the trigger is an issue. With good training, it should not be a problem. Finger should not be on the trigger if you're not going to shoot it, and just have to be smart and be safe. You know, the real safety is between your ears. It's not on the firearm. You do have a thumb safety on the shield. You have one on the Ruger. Doesn't mean you have to use it. And if you have it in a holster, a good holster, like I have it in, that covers the trigger guard, the trigger. You know, even though that's not designed for it, I believe the one designed for this is going to come back even a little bit further. You know, you really can't get your finger, I won't say can't, but it's hard to get your finger on the trigger when you don't mean to. So that's kind of your decision. Just much easier to shoot well, no doubt about it. And I'm going to try to hit something here in a minute, or at least come close to it. And I will not. Also, they come with this little thing here, which a lot of you would actually like. You know how I am with grips and things. I don't really like that, but it does give you more area to grasp. Okay, so first thing I did with these magazines is take that off. I'll load this one, even though I don't like that. I'll load it since we have that magazine. And again, we appreciate Kentucky Gun Company and Federal and Elks Outdoors, you know, helping us and supporting our endeavors here. Pretty nice. All right, now look at all the magazines I have. Oh, I got another one in my pocket there, baby. Let's stick some of these in my pocket. I'll start out with this this one, which I don't really like so much. All right. Not had a malfunction yet, so the day is still young, but we've not had any problems. All right, let's relax a little bit and hit something. I'm just going to go for the chicken. want to hit that red plate again. There we go. I keep holding too low. Y'all ever do that? You're trying to hit something, you know you're holding low when the trigger breaks, and you just can't get it up there a little bit higher. Let's try, let's pop those pigs again. They're kind of ornery today. There you go. Better. Let's go for the gong. Who else needs to? Let's go down to those pigs on the lower roll. Oh, let's don't. We're empty. Okay, find some more. I can't tell where they're going. Okay, got a couple more. Let's move down here and share the copper. How's that? Let's share copper down here. Oh, that was a bad start. Better. It's easy to miss with anything. Easy to miss. Sweet. Nothing like having a good trigger. Oh, I see a Desperado. Oh man, I don't know what else I can tell you about it, except that it pleases me that this same gun that I wanted to like before more, I wanted to like it more than I did when it came out. Now I have a lot of reason to really like it. And often I will carry a firearm because, you know, in the summertime especially, I'll carry a pocket firearm most of the time. And I switch around a little bit. If it's a firearm we're testing, we've got in to test and shoot and see what I think about it. I might carry it even if I know it's not going to be a long-term proposition, perhaps. I don't know, it just depends. As long as it is something that will protect me, keep me alive. But this one I was anxious to get in my pocket holster right away, and it may stay there for a good while. It really might. It's a sweet shooter, and it's good size. I really don't notice it being heavier than the Glock 42, to tell you the truth. Maybe it's just me. I really don't. I don't feel like I'm lugging around. When I go to my Glock 27 or 26 in my pocket, I know it's there. It works, but I definitely know it's there. A little blockier and heavier, but it works. This is more like the 42. You kind of forget it's there, and you got 7+1 and 9mm with a good trigger. That, you know, good shooter. So hard to hate the thing, I'll tell you. I know I'm sounding like an infomercial, but I think I'm just happy they have fixed the trigger on this thing, and it's a really shootable firearm now. Life is good.